then talk to our panel about what was said there. Now, Sharon, let's start with you. So Jonathan Reynolds wasn't giving much away, but he did say there was money available. He said the Prime Minister has spoken to the boss of Tata Steel. He didn't quite guarantee jobs, as you asked, but what did you make of his answers on Tata Steel?
Well, look, there's no doubt that Labour coming in and the intent of what they want to do is a good thing. You know, I am glad we have a Labour government. I am the leader of a trade union, and my main focus is jobs, pay and conditions for workers. So I am going to either be, they can see me as a critical friend or a pain in the proverbial, either way. So I'm going to keep
happy to be a pain in the
whichever way they want to take that, because it's my job to make sure feet to the fire on this. The problem that we've got here is that when investment is spoken about in Britain, there is never jobs guarantees attached. And the devil here will be in the detail. Unless there are jobs guarantees attached to the investment, what Tata will do is they'll take the investment, they'll build one electric arc, they'll import green steel for the rest of it, and those jobs will walk out the door. And I'm going to keep very eagle-eyed on exactly what that detail means. And the investment could be more than what they've promised. And this moves us on to the fiscal rules and the fact that we will have to borrow to invest if we are going to invest in British industry. That is going to have to happen. But I'll be watching it very, very closely.
When you say this fiscal rules, that's the spending limits that Rachel Reeves, the Shadow Chancellor, as was, now the Chancellor in number 10. Now, you didn't actually sign up to the Labour manifesto. You were a backer, but you weren't quite in the 10 at the manifesto. But do you think that actually they're going to have to move on those rules because of reality?
I do. I mean, since 1997, the fiscal rules have changed 9 times. Fiscal rules change. And of course, when you change them, then you have more opportunity. We are going to have to borrow to invest. We haven't got time to wait for growth. People are literally hurting out there, and we're going to have to borrow to invest. And our crumbling public services need money. They absolutely need money.
Well, it was interesting. So Andy Burnham was very supportive of Keir Starmer. You could tell he's delighted by the result, but he did he did say there has to be a decisive break with austerity. It was interesting he chose that phrase. Do you think, as things stand, that Labour is on course to make a decisive break with austerity?
They're going to need to do that. They're going to need to make different choices. I don't understand why the choices are between pensioners and children. Who decided that was the choice? There are different choices that can be made. The richest families in Britain, there are 50 richest families in Britain that are worth £500 billion. That is the same as 33 million people. That's the same as half of Britain. This completely unfair society has got to be looked at. We need to invest. We're going to have to borrow to invest. That is not the same as borrowing for anything else. Borrowing to invest is absolutely the right thing to do. And we're also going to have to look at things like our crumbling public services and say, how are we going to deal with this? We can't just allow that to wait for growth. We will not get growth in time. It's a good thing to say. I understand why they're saying it. But every economist, pretty much, I've been saying it for the best part of 6 months, we are not going to be able to get that type of growth quick enough. And people won't wait. People will not wait for that delivery.